Reporting from the Boonesboro Police Department in Boonesboro, Maryland, we're here with Shaun Porter to discuss the topic of out-of-control, excessively charged Maryland public information requests.
Hello, this message is for Shaun Porter. My name is Haley Roberts. I'm the Associate County Attorney General Counsel for the Montgomery County Police Department. I believe you called my office and left a message regarding an PIA request. My number is 240-777-6710. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So let's break this down. For those who do not know how the Maryland Public Information Act works, let's talk about that. So what is that, and what is it you're specifically requesting?
So basically, some people know it as like FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Every state is different. In Maryland, we have the Maryland Public Information Act, where they have to make information public. And say you liked to go after people who called the cops on you. What you would do is you would find out who it was by getting the dispatch sheets. They're called CAD sheets, computer-aided dispatch sheets. You would get 911 calls, and you would try and figure out who it was that called the cops on you, and then go after them in any which way that you feel like doing so. You know, put them on YouTube and make fun of them. Whatever it is that you're doing, that's how you would do it. Well, in each county, it's different. And again, it comes back to some counties are abusing the citizens, like Montgomery County, and then some places are really, really good, like Washington County and Frederick County. Frederick County, they just email me whatever I want. Sometimes I'll just shoot them an email, and this guy Barry Williams, I think his name is, he'll just give me whatever I want. He's great. He's working for the people.
So how is this process supposed to work, ideally?
Ideally, you're supposed to tell them what you want, and they're supposed to give it to you within like 30 days.
Okay.
But in Montgomery County, what they do is they want $7,500 for 911 calls.
So let's specifically talk about the good and the bad. We're at Boonesboro Police Department. You claim this is good.
This place is
what makes them good? Talk about it. What makes them good?
Well, I just walked in and got them. I emailed them that I wanted.
What specifically?
Specifically, I was trying to find out who this one rat was that called 911. And so I got computer-aided dispatch sheets from the Sheriff's Department, but they were incomplete because Boonesboro PD has their own little, they are their own little fiefdom. So I came here to get the rest of the records, essentially, the other half of the equation, and they just gave them to me. They didn't charge me anything, and they could have charged me for the cost of the paper, but they weren't petty like that. So they gave me the documents, and then I was able to get the 911 calls based on the documents, and I was able to abjectly humiliate the 911 calling Karen, who lied to police and said that we were assaulting people at our peaceful protests.
And what was the cost for Boonesboro Police? I believe you might have said it'd been free, but okay.
Zero.
So nothing. Okay, so let's move on to Frederick County and Montgomery County. You claim that they're not so hot.
Frederick County is great. They've charged me nothing. Frederick City's trying to charge me $25 for an email. To just simply send over a 911 call by email. It's just a WAV file. It takes 2 seconds. It's actually easier to do that.
From the Frederick City Police Department.
Yeah, it's actually easier to do that than it is to print up a sheet and leave it at a front desk for you to pick up, or try and send it electronically. So it's actually really easy to do. I actually have a 911 dispatcher who is consulting with me on the systems and how it works. Like Montgomery County spent $42 million on an updated system to make it super easy to just send 911 calls like it's no problem, like they could do it like that. But they're still charging $75 per call, which is insane.
So this is Montgomery County.
Montgomery County is the biggest offender.
This is the hot topic. So you put in a Public Information Act with who? Montgomery County Police Department? Yeah,
well, Montgomery County Police Department has an MPIA coordinator, and you go through like a portal. And I don't know if it's for the whole county, like all departments, but this was specifically pertaining to their 911 call center.
And you requested how many calls?
I requested all the calls for my protests on the Beltway, and it totaled about 100. And they wanted the lady actually told me $75 a call.
The estimate was $7,500 for roughly 100 phone calls.
$7,500 for public records for 5 minutes worth of work. And I told the county attorney that I would quit my job and shutter my business and start doing nothing but public records requests if they could justify that that was exactly what it cost to do a public records request. It was just very unreasonable.
So, but this was, and this relates to your Beltway protest.
Yes.
Okay, where you were hanging signs on the overpass.
Correct.
Okay, wow. And so what are you going to do to fight this?
Well, the first thing I did was I called the county attorney's office and started screaming at everybody like a madman. And I called Councilman Evan Glass and I threatened to protest in front of his house. Then I called the...
Does he have jurisdiction over the matter?
No, but the politicians complain to the government officials who then do things for you.
Sure.
And within a few minutes, I got a call from an assistant county attorney. I believe I can give you the voicemail later. And she's like, no one's charged you anything yet. This hasn't happened yet. Don't sue us yet. And by the way, guys, I have multiple lawsuits I'm working on right now. It takes a lot of time. I got a lot of other stuff going on as well. But she basically instructed them to give me the first batch of calls for free. Just give it to them, shut them up, get them out of here. No dollar for a disc. Just email them, which it really should be for all the citizens that need their records. And then the next time I contacted them, they went back to the whole $75 a call thing and tried to again charge me $75 to send an email.
Have you asked how they figure that number, $75?
You know, I didn't, but I did call back the county attorney's office, and they were extremely rude to me on the phone this last time that I called in. The one guy was cool. He apparently is a fan of mine, and he watches my channel. He knew exactly who I was. But then the other people in the office, they suck a big one. You know, they were just absolutely horrible to deal with. So, you know, they should probably realize that they work for the people and not try to just take all of our money and tell us to F off, which is basically what they did to me yesterday.
How does this end? What do you think the end result of this is? I mean, obviously you're not going to pay $7,500 for records, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to give. Right. I'm not going to give them a dime. I'm going to give them a summons and complaint. And that's the only way this ends. I've already missed one call from my attorney this morning. The first thing we're doing is a demand letter. Yeah. And that's just to build the case for, like, this is unreasonable. A lawyer has contacted you, quoted the law, and pointed out that this is unreasonable. And if they then continue to try to charge me the $75 for, you know, an email, that's on them. I mean, it should be, at that point in time, any circuit court judge reviewing this matter should be able to look at it and see that it is unreasonable, because the law states that reasonable expenses regarding the production of 911 calls, like putting it on a disc. The disc costs 50 cents. Maybe they charge you 50 cents, $1, like they do in Washington County, it's $1. These people are just sending an email, and they want $75 for one email.
For one email, or for one phone call.
For one email, one phone call, one record, $75. If you want the great government of Montgomery County to honor the Maryland Public Information Act request, the fee is $75. And I don't know where they come up with that.
And what do you think is reasonable?
I think what would be reasonable is the fact that when I go to Montgomery County, I get gouged on gasoline, on food, on liquor tax, the worst. They charge like an extra 10% tax for liquor there. They charge you for plastic bags. There's a plastic bag tax because you're destroying the planet.
If someone's watching this and they're saying to themselves, you know, I have a similar circumstance where I'm trying to FOIA or PIA records and I'm not getting anywhere, and they're, you know, having the same problems you're having, what would you say to them?
I would say they need to contact me at ShaunPorter@USA.com, and I think that we should all band together and we should all combine forces. Like, was it the Thundercats? They had like a ring, and each one had a special power, and they combined their forces. The more citizens that stand up against these tyrants, the better. The more phone calls that these people get saying you need to stop extorting the citizens of Montgomery County and surrounding counties, the better off the people will be. I won't be happy until this $75 fee is gone. It's just ridiculous. There's no reason for it, and I'm going to seek injunctive relief against Montgomery County for charging these fees.
What you're saying isn't unfair, because the taxpayers pay for the courts, they pay for the police stations. They don't own those records. We do. We own those records.
That's right.
That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
It is a fact. Absolutely.
We own those records.
Right. And I pay property taxes in the state of Maryland, and you know, they take enough of my money. Why do they need to just keep gouging me every time I turn around? Maryland actually had a tax on rain. Right. It was repealed. It was under Governor O'Malley. He was taxing the amount of rain people got on their roof and driveway, and that would run off into Chesapeake Bay. So there was a rain tax. It's ridiculous here.
People from out of state will think we're kidding.
It's totally true. Maryland is out of control. They got a governor that basically just outlawed guns in public, even though you have the right to concealed carry. They won't even let you do that anywhere in public. It's ridiculous. So yeah, Maryland is out of control these days.
Yeah, Shaun Porter putting up the good fight.
Thanks, buddy.
As always.
Have a good one.